from determination and destined for greatness. I am Dr. Archika Datta, Assistant Professor at Techno India University, and I welcome all NEET aspirants to this inspiring session with NEET 2024 rankers. Your roadmap to success begins here. Joining us today is someone who has turned dreams into realities. Please welcome Tiasha Paul, NEET 2024, 62 rank, now a proud first-year student of Calcutta Medical College. Tiasha, your journey is truly inspiring. First question যেটা আমি তোমাকে জিজ্ঞেস করব, last year তুমি just পরীক্ষা দিয়েছো, so you have your memories fresh. তো এমন কোনো একটা চ্যালেঞ্জিং বা একটা কোনো ট্রিক কোয়েশ্চেন তুমি ফেস করেছিলে ডিউরিং দ্য এক্সাম that you felt it was a strict question and you had to use a lot of time or common sense while you had to solve that?
Okay, especially in biology, I can talk about that NCERT is our guide everywhere in biology. But the trick part was in many we had matched the following questions and their terms were out of NCERT, which for NEET aspirants might be challenging to see at first that, oh, there is out of NCERT question. But if you handle it calmly with the other NCERT based options, you can solve the questions very easily. So that was a trick. I thought that I was also confused at first, okay, that I have out of NCERT questions. Right. But then when I solved it actually, then it was actually a trick to confuse us. It would be easily solved with your NCERT knowledge.
How did you actually tackle the trick?
Actually, when I saw the question, I first did not attempt it.
Okay.
I moved on to my next question. When I came back, then I started seeing the options and then gradually I understood, okay, I don't actually need the last part or the exact word that is out of NCERT to answer that following question.
Okay. It was a concept based, somewhat.
Yeah.
Okay, my next question is for Parthiv Narayan Roy, another very diligent student who secured 182 rank. Parthiv, what is your opinion about NEET? What kind of an exam do you think it is, such that এটাকে solve করার জন্য আমাদের কোনটা বেশি প্রয়োজন? We need to be more accurate, we need to have more logic, or do we need to learn it by heart a lot of things, or is it just strategy?
At first, good evening, ma'am.
Yes.
I'm Parthiv Narayan Roy from MCK first year. NEET is all about, if I describe in very shortly, speed with accuracy.
Right.
It's the most important thing in NEET.
Right.
So at first, if we start with biology and then chemistry and physics in the paper, like in bio, we have to first complete the entire 90 questions in only about 40 minutes, and maximum we can take only 50 minutes. That's the time constraint, and in that much short time we have to recall everything and do with great speed. Otherwise we'll not get time for the physics that we do at the end.
Right.
And then we go to chemistry, where we can maximum afford about an hour, not more than that at any cost. Otherwise our physics will be sacrificed. In chemistry also, like in physical chemistry, in inorganic chemistry and in organic chemistry, these three subjects require different approaches. Like in physical chemistry, it's all about numericals. So we have to calculate and do with extreme accuracy. Otherwise, a small mistake and the answer will not come.
Right.
And for inorganic chemistry, we have to recall it very quickly.
Okay,
And
I'll come to individual subjects
yeah.
again in depth.
Yeah.
But before that, I'll just ask a question to Nidhi Bera, another bright future doctor who had a rank of 167 in NEET 2024. What do you think? What was your which chapters in biology had the most weightage in 2024 question paper?
First of all, thank you, ma'am. According to me, all the chapters are very important if you want to score a good marks, because even a single question can make a huge difference in your rank.
Right.
But if you have to say a very important chapter which has huge weightage, especially in biology, I would say genetics, because it's a huge chapter, first of all. And second of all, at least 9 to 10 questions, you have the probability of getting at least 9 to 10 questions from that chapter. So,
Wow,
yeah,
that's
genetics.
a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Okay. So genetics is really important.
Hmm.
Okay, I'll again come back with more questions on biology, but before that, we'll just introduce another bright student of ours, Shurjendu Vikash Nondi, who is an inspiring student and has achieved 520th rank in 2024 NEET exam. Okay, Shurjendu, how important do you think is the last 15 minutes of the exam?
ফার্স্টলি লাস্ট 15 মিনিট যখন আছে তখন অলরেডি পেপার কমপ্লিট হয়ে গেছে, তো আমি অলরেডি রিল্যাক্স ছিলাম এবং আমি জানতাম যে আমি বেস্টটা দিয়ে দিয়েছি।
আচ্ছা।
আই ওয়াজ স্যাটিসফাইড। তো তখন only few questions I have left during the solving, because most of the question papers are easy, only just some are tricky question, except not this kind of small things are hidden in between the questions. So I mostly completed the paper and marked only a few questions, and at the last 15 minutes I just took that questions and see the clearly the সবগুলো ওএমআর সিট কমপ্লিটলি ফিল আপ করা ছিল কিনা, কোনো জায়গায় এদিক ওদিক ভুলভাল ফিল আপ করা ছিল কিনা, ওই রোল নাম্বার নেম কোথাও কিছু মিস্টেক আছে কিনা ওটা ভালোভাবে চেক করে নিয়েছিল।
মানে বেসিক্যালি ইউ আর অ্যাডভাইজিং আর NEET aspirants যে লাস্ট 15 মিনিটস ইউটিলাইজ ইট ফর রিচেকিং দ্য হোল এন্টায়ার পেপার, এটা ভালো করে নিজের মতো করে স্ক্রুটিনি করে নেব আমরা, সো দ্যাট কোনো মিস্টেক যদি কোথাও হয়ে থাকে সেটা যেন আমরা রিকভার করে নিতে পারি। রাইট, ভেরি গুড। নেক্সট আই এম কামিং টু তিয়াশা again. Tiasha, can you elaborately explain the exam pattern, exactly how many questions are there, the subjects that is present in the question paper, and the number of optional questions that that's available in the same subject, and the total marks, the entire details about the question pattern.
Okay, NEET is basically a 3-hour exam. We get a total of 3 hours 20 minutes. We got, and that was in our time we had 200 questions, out of which the last 20 questions were optional. They were subjected in the part B of the question paper of each subject, that is physics, chemistry, botany, and zoology. But from this year, that pattern is again not valid. We are getting 180 questions, 45 questions for each of the 4 subjects I talked about, and each question will have 4 marks, and for any negative answer you will get a -1, and that's why the total marks is 720.
Okay, just a sec. There are 3 subjects.
Okay, the biology section is divided into botany and zoology.
Okay. So there are 4 subjects total.
Yeah, you can tell 3, but actually
it
while
is-
studying, we study it basically as 4 subjects. Botany and zoology, most of the students study it separately.
Okay. And something that this year students should keep in mind is that they are going to have no extra time.
Yeah, there's
and
no extra
options
questions.
in the questions.
Yeah, no part B, no extra questions will be there as options.
Okay.
So every question will be like mandatory to be attended.
Right. তাহলে দিস ওয়াজ ভেরি ইম্পর্টেন্ট আই গেস যে এবছরের কোয়েশ্চেন পেপারে কোনো এক্সট্রা কোয়েশ্চেন থাকবে না, সো হোয়াট এভার কোয়েশ্চেন্স আর গিভেন অল কোয়েশ্চেন নিডস টু বি অ্যাটেম্পটেড, সো দিস ইজ সামথিং দ্যাট ডিডন্ট হ্যাপেন লাস্ট ইয়ার, বাট এই ইয়ারে দিস ইজ আ নিউ রুল দ্যাট ইজ গোয়িং টু বি হ্যাপনিং। Okay, next, one more thing that I'm going to ask Nidhi. Nidhi, coping with negative marks in a competitive exam is a very strategic move. So, what do you think? What should a student keep in mind before answering in question, so that they have minimum amount of negative marking?
So first of all, if you have even the slightest of doubt in a question, you should leave that question and move forward to the next question, so that you have minimum negative marks.
Right.
So while you were this is for the first time. Like when you are seeing the question for the first time, you are going through your first round. You have left the question. Now for when you are doing the second round, you will see that you have left the question, but since mainly you have at least 50 to 60% idea. Okay, this option can be the answer.
Okay.
You should eliminate one by one options, and the best option you should choose.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it's okay. আচ্ছা পার্থিব, I have the next question for you. তোমাদের ইয়ারে 2024 রে was there any repetition of question from 2023, and if there was, then what percentage of question was repeated?
Yes, ma'am, definitely. Every year it's like about 30 to 40% topics are repeated, not exact questions.
Right.
It's the topics. The language is just somewhat changed. Otherwise, the question is more or less same, and that percentage is 30 to 40% every year. So
For each subject?
Yeah, for each subject like physics, chemistry, or bio, it's more or less like about 20% each.
Acha,
Okay.
so Nidhi was just saying a few minutes ago that last year genetics had a major part of your question paper. So we can expect যে এই বছরও genetics will have a major portion of your question paper?
Definitely. Genetics is a very important portion
Okay.
from biology. Okay.
Huh.
It's a very important portion. So we should stress more on that. It's one of the most important topics
Right.
for biology. It's about great weightage in the paper.
Right. Acha, coming to you, Shurjendu, as Nidhi was just saying, there's going to be 180 questions. And the time given is 180 minutes. So how did y'all make a strategy so that you had to answer all the question and then again have 15 minutes in hand? What should be your strategy?
First of all, we can't decide a clear-cut strategy from the home, because
Okay.
the question can be give a surprise.
Okay.
So almost 1 hour, within 1 hour we have to complete biology, then chemistry within 45, and the remaining is the physics. We have to maintain this thing. If we are going ahead of this time, then we can think accordingly. Or first of all, there are many things like OMR sheet fill-ups for our attendance and the roll number fill-ups. ওগুলো মাঝখানে মাঝখানে এসে ডিস্টার্ব করবে আমাদেরকে, ওই সময়
ওগুলো কি
মেন্টাল
মানে
পিস।
প্রথমেই করে নিয়েছিলে নাকি
একটা
মাঝখানে মাঝখানেই করতে
ওএমআর
হয়?
শিট, যেটাই আমাদের মেইনলি উত্তরটা দিতে হয়, ওটাই করে ফিল আপ করতে হয়। মাঝখানে একজন অ্যাটেন্ডেন্সের জন্য আসবে, তো ওই সিটে করে আবার ওই বাবল করতে হয়। তো ওগুলো করার সময় অনেক সময় এত কোশ্চেনের মাঝখানে করতে হচ্ছে, যেহেতু ওটা মেন্টাল হেজিটেশন আসে, তো ওইটা সময় মেন্টাল পিস ঠিক রাখতে হবে, কেননা এতগুলো কোশ্চেন করতে হবে, তো ওই সময় ঠিকভাবে
Right.
থাকতে হবে।
তার মানে আমাদের অ্যাসপিরেন্টদের এটাও মাথায় রাখতে হবে, দে শুড বি প্রিপেয়ার, যে শুধু পরীক্ষা দেওয়া নয়, এই সব আনুষঙ্গিক কাজগুলো দে হ্যাভ টু ফিট ইন উইদিন দ্যাট 180 মিনিট।
হ্যাঁ,
সো ইউ হ্যাভ টু বি রিয়েলি ফাস্ট।
এনভায়রনমেন্টের সাথে কমপ্লিট, মানে অনেক সময় অনেক রকম ডিস্টার্ব হতে পারে আশেপাশে, অনেকে অনেক রকম কথা বলবে, অনেকে চেঁচামেচিও হতে পারে যদি আশেপাশে রোড থাকে, সোয়েটিং হতে পারে, কেননা এই গরমের সময় হচ্ছে। তো এই জিনিসগুলো থেকে আগে থেকে অ্যাওয়্যার থাকতে হবে, প্রিপেয়ার থাকতে হবে, তা না হলে ওইখানে গেলে প্রচুর প্রবলেম হবে।
রাইট। আচ্ছা, তোমরা প্রিভিয়াস ইয়ার কোয়েশ্চেন্স সলভ করেছিলে সবাই?
হ্যাঁ, প্রিভিয়াস
হ্যাঁ,
কোশ্চেন সলভ
obviously.
হয়েছে।
সো
It's a
হাউ
very important
ইম্পর্টেন্ট
part.
ডু ইউ
স্পেশালি
থিংক ইট ইজ?
2019 এর পর থেকে
হ্যাঁ।
যেটা প্রপারলি এনটিএ নিয়েছে, সেই কোশ্চেনগুলো খুবই ইম্পর্টেন্ট।
এনটিএ
ন্যাশনাল টেস্টিং এজেন্সি,
ওকে,
যারা
তার
আমাদের
আগে
টেস্টটা
কে নিত?
তার আগে সিবিএসই কন্ডাক্ট করতো,
আচ্ছা,
তো তারপর
so
থেকে
if you
কোশ্চেন
could
পেপারগুলো
just give more details about this thing.
2019 থেকে এনটিএ আমাদের কোশ্চেন পেপারগুলো নেওয়া শুরু করেছে। তো পার ইয়ারে একটা থেকে দুটো কি কোনো কোনো ইয়ারে 3টে করে কোশ্চেন পেপার হয়েছে। তো এই ইয়ারে আপাতত 2019 থেকে 24 পর্যন্ত অ্যারাউন্ড 12 to 13 কোশ্চেন পেপার হয়েছে। তো ওগুলো যদি আমরা সবগুলো অ্যাটেম্প্ট করে নিই, তো অ্যারাউন্ড 50 to 60% কোশ্চেনের এক্সাক্ট কমন কোশ্চেন পাবো না, তবে অবভিয়াসলি তার কনসেপ্টগুলো কমন পাবো, এবং অ্যারাউন্ড 20% কোশ্চেন অবশ্যই কমন থাকে।
Acha, that was very helpful.
I would like to add
Yes,
a
sure.
point.
Sure, sure, sure.
10 years is very, very important for sure. In fact, people need aspirants solve many question paper, whether they have taken any coaching or like outsource question papers, but you must solve 10 years and not just solve it, but after solving it, whatever you have made mistakes, even if you have a little doubt, you should devise that doubts and you should see what mistakes you have made, because most of them do this mistake of just solving and keeping the paper aside. They
Right.
don't do the
They don't analyze their own
yeah,
mistakes.
you should analyze your paper. It's very, very important. It will take time. It will. But it will be very useful in your need time, because I had also done many mistakes, but I analyzed and gradually only that many questions came जिसमें हम गलती किए थे.
So that is what. So you have to analyze and criticize your own self.
Yeah.
So that success is yours. তো নিজের ভুল কোথায় হচ্ছে আমাদের সেই জায়গাটা without any keeping any denial to ourselves আমাদের সেইটাকে ফার্স্টে rectify করতে হবে.
Ma'am, and I would like to add
sure.
another point, that a common mistake done by the NEET students, NEET aspirants, that they try to solve 36-year questions, PYQs.
36?
Yes.
Why?
Many PYQ books
Books are
are there.
available such.
Is that 36 years, and they think that more number of years and PYQs will solve, and it's will be more beneficial. But it's not that, because the paper pattern is changing. Maximum we can do 9 to 10 years. That's more than enough. Please don't go beyond that.
Okay, this is very
And,
important.
and another one, that when we analyze our paper after giving the tests, everyone just sees the questions that they have left. We should also analyze the questions that we have done incorrect. That is more important than seeing the questions which we have left. Because if we don't improve at that part, then how will score more in the next one?
Right.
And that should be the step for improvement.
This is a very important tip that he has given. যে কোনটা ছেড়ে গেছি, that is we do not know, we know that, but যেটা ভুল করেছি সেইটা আমাদের মাইনিউটলি দেখে thoroughly আবার করা উচিত, because সেইখান থেকেই আমরা we'll learn from our own mistake. Okay, then coming back to some other a bit different question, that is তোমরা সবাই গভর্নমেন্ট কলেজে অ্যাডমিশন নিয়েছো, সো হোয়াট ইজ দ্য কাট অফ অফ আ গভর্নমেন্ট কলেজ? হোয়াট ইজ দ্য বেসিক নাম্বার দ্যাট ইউ হ্যাভ টু অ্যাচিভ যেখানে তুমি গভর্নমেন্ট কলেজে ভর্তি হতে পারো?
Okay, in India we can expect for all India government colleges we can expect a rank between 30,000 to get a proper government college.
Okay.
After that we do have deemed universities, we do have semi-government colleges.
Okay.
And for West Bengal people it's nearly 35 to 40,000 rank. Up to that it's enough, but marks we cannot assure as such that you have to get above 600 and you'll get a good college. We can never assure that, because last year only we had a huge inflation.
Okay.
Up to 2023 the marks range was about 590 to 600 to get into a medical college, government one. But this year the cutoff went up to 640, which is a huge inflation for
Why
the
was that?
aspirants.
Because the question paper was easier comparatively.
No.
We cannot comment on that because the question pattern wasn't, I can't call it, it was too easy or too tough. But of course, the number of aspirants are increasing and their preparation level. As we get more online, we are getting more used to online resources.
You're getting more resources.
We are getting more resources. We can outsource things from anywhere, and students are very conscious nowadays. They know from where to study, how to study. So obviously everyone is struggling and everyone is trying to get good marks. So what can we do from our part is give our 100%. We cannot stop others from getting more marks,
Right.
but we have to go on improving
You
ourselves.
have to go beyond
Yeah.
your best. Okay. So in that case, since the demand is increasing more than the supply of government colleges, here takes in the private college. So what is the basic cutoff marks for private colleges? Any idea?
Yeah, private colleges this year the marks went till between about 500. The previous years it went till 450 like that. But this year due to rank inflation, The cutoff was nearly 550 marks or 530, like that.
Okay, we have
yes.
just a bit. I'm just interrupting. We have heard about inflation in stock market exchange and everything, but
Obvious.
rank inflation is something that I'm hearing new.
Hmm.
I guess আমাদের অডিয়েন্সরাও অনেকে একটু
Yes.
জানে না. If you just could elaborate on that, what is a rank inflation?
Like for example, I got 682 marks this year with an all India rank of 6,329. And if we go in 2022, where with the same marks 682, the rank was only 648. That is within 3 digits. And that went this year till 6,000. I never imagined my rank to be that much. It was unexpected.
Right.
That's the rank inflation. And that's the very sad reality of India today.
Okay. Okay, what was your biggest fear during preparing for NEET? And how did you all overcome? Nidhi?
That I have to take another drop and I won't be able to qualify this time, or I'll disappoint my parents and family who's putting so much effort for me. My biggest fear was disappointing, first of all, myself and my parents.
Okay, so you had worked hard and that was, you couldn't afford that. That failure was your fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. As
Yeah.
for
Same
I
for you
would
all.
like to add, yeah.
Yes.
I was a good student in school, like many of the NEET aspirants out there. So our expectations from ourselves increased to such an extent that we think that in school we are being the top. So in an all India based exam also we'll
you're
top.
going to top.
But that's not the reality of life. And it happened with me, so I can feel it. I gave my 12th in 2023 and somehow I didn't get into a government medical college.
Okay.
But I did get into other colleges. I got into a college for research, which is also a very good college, ISER Kolkata. I got admission into that. But I decided to not take that college.
Okay.
So this was my drop year. And that's the pressure, that you got a very good opportunity, but you did not take it just because you want to follow a particular path. And that decision is very hard for very many of the students, that
Right.
taking a drop is like a panic attack that
Obvious.
every of my friends is going to colleges and I'm not going. And especially for students like me, I got into a very good college, but
Okay.
still I didn't go there, and I am sitting at home or in hostel or in any coaching institute
Right.
and studying the things I have already studied in 11th and 12th. That's a very disappointing part, but I would like to assure you that many students go through it, and when you come out, you will come out so much stronger. My marks in NEET 2023 was 555, and in NEET 2024 it was 690. So
That's
if
a
I can do it, you can also do it, and it's very much possible.
Wow, that's really an inspiration. You chased your dream and you finally got it.
অ্যাকচুয়ালি
Right.
আমার
You had to say something?
আমার 5 বছরের একটা ড্রপ ইয়ার আছে 2019 এইচএস। তো আপ টু দ্য লাস্ট 4 ইয়ার্স আমি অনেক বেশি ভাবতাম যে এটা না হলে কি হবে, সবসময় ফিয়ারই থাকতাম। কিন্তু এই ইয়ারে আমি মোটিভেটই থেকেছি সবসময়, ওই ডিমোটিভেশনে আমি সময়ই দিইনি।
কি করে তুমি মোটিভেটেড থেকেছো?
আমি
5 বছর ইজ আ লং টার্ম, একজনের ডিগ্রি হয়ে যায় ওই টাইমে।
হ্যাঁ
And you stayed calm, you chased your dreams, and then you ultimately succeeded. So what was your motivation?
লাস্ট 4 ইয়ারে আমি সবসময় ওই নাম্বার ওরিয়েন্টেড পড়ছিলাম, কম্পেয়ার করছিলাম যে আমি এই নাম্বারটা অ্যাচিভ করতে পারিনি, তাহলে হয়তো আমার কোথাও একটা ফল্ট আছে, আমি কেন পাচ্ছি না, আমি নিজে সেলফ ডাউট করছিলাম। তো লাস্ট ইয়ারে করে আমি শুধুমাত্র নিজের বেস্ট দিয়েছিলাম, আমি ভুলে গেছিলাম নাম্বারের কথা। আমি খালি বেস্ট এক্সাম দেবো, যাতে করে এক্সামের পরে আমার গিল্ট না থাকে যে আমি এর চেয়ে বেটার করতে পারতাম। এটা আমার বেস্ট ইয়ার ছিল, আমি এর চেয়ে বেটার করতে পারতাম না।
রাইট,
ইটস মাই বেস্ট পারফরমেন্স।
মানে
ওটাই
তুমি
ব্যাপার।
তোমার নিজের উপর কনফিডেন্সটা রেখেছিলে।
হ্যাঁ,
That
আমি
was your
ভুলে গেছিলাম যে কি
motivation.
হয়েছে না হয়েছে, আমি খালি এই ইয়ারে বেস্ট দিচ্ছিলাম।
Okay. So
I would also like to
sure,
add
sure.
something, that this was also my drop year.
Okay.
And the previous year I also got chance in many prestigious institutions through the prestigious exams, but it was a very difficult decision to leave those and again take a drop and prepare. Like I've given J mains In that also I had cracked the NITs, and in CUET I had also cracked the North Delhi campuses in CUET with the top branches, and in BHU also I got in agriculture, and in NISER also I cracked. But to leave those institutions so prestigious, it was really a difficult task for me. And again, just close myself behind a door and all day just read. It was very hectic.
Okay,
Really.
so you people.
But you all should means keep that courage and don't just leave it. When you will come out, you will just come out with flying colors. It's extremely different experience at all.
Right. So don't fear, just go ahead. You will achieve your success
Yeah.
someday.
Yes.
And one thing, you people are talking about success অনেকক্ষণ ধরে, so একটা biggest time wasting trap কি তোমাদের মনে হয় যেটা most NEET aspirants রা face করে থাকে?
In today's generation, of course, social media.
Social media trap.
Social media is the worst trap you can fall into, and also it's a place where you can spend hours and hours without realizing that I have wasted my whole day.
Okay.
So the only way to get ahead of it is to control yourself, control your behavior, control your time, have a thing in your mind that if you're living alone, of course you have to do it alone. If you're living at home, give your phones to your mom and dad while studying and study. That's the best you can do during NEET.
আচ্ছা, এটা ভেরি ইম্পর্টেন্ট। আই গেস সব বাবা মারাই বাড়িতে বলে থাকে যে ফোনটাকে হাত দিস না,
Yes.
ফোন দেখিস না, পড়াশোনাটা কর। তো ইভেন যারা র্যাঙ্ক হোল্ডার্স তারাও তাই করেছে, অ্যান্ড মেবি দ্যাট ওয়াজ ওয়ান অফ দ্য রিজন দে সাকসিডেড অ্যান্ড গট দ্য বেস্ট র্যাঙ্কস দে কুড। ওকে, অনেকক্ষণ ধরে we have been talking to students who got placed into NEET and their dream subjects. So, having explored the initial experiences and challenges of the medical students, we now turn our valuable perspective to one of the seasoned medical faculty who offer guidance and wisdom based on their years of experience in this field. This transition allows us to delve deeper into the practical aspects of medical science, career development, and navigating the complexities of medical profession. We are honored today to have with us Dr. Kalyan Bhattacharya, HOD of Anatomy Department, Calcutta Medical College. Sir, coming to you, welcome.
Good evening to you all.
Good
Yes,
evening.
please.
Sir, what do you think is the basic knowledge that NEET aspirants you expect from a NEET aspirant and a NEET success student who enters into the medical college?
You know, the basic knowledge, I do not know, because you know I am a man of say cracking the joint entrance at that time during the year 1979, when most of you are not born yet. So we were to cope up with the essay type questions, you know, long questions,
Yes.
etc. And that was the first point. The second point was that we had to face a competition to avail seats out of only 750 total 750. Of course, excluding the SC, ST, etc., those classes, that is the reserved seats. So we have an orientation of that time only. And you see, NEET, I can say that my both of my sons, I am having two sons. Both of my sons, they had appeared for the same thing, but I could not give any idea regarding how to write, how to read, or how to apprehend, or so much so. So I cannot say the basic things that the aspirants should do for the preparation. But as you have said something that what did you say actually that
So what do you expect? Suppose
expectations? Yes.
এবছর যারা পাস
Right.
করবে নিট অ্যাসপিরেন্ট যারা এবছর তো তারা নিট ক্র্যাক করে আপনাদের কলেজে আসবে, মেডিকেল কলেজে ধরুন ফার্স্ট ইয়ার আর ঢুকবে,
হ্যাঁ।
তাদের থেকে মানে কি বেসিক মিনিমাম আপনি নলেজ এক্সপেক্ট করছেন অ্যাজ আ
Basic.
মেডিকেল স্টুডেন্ট?
বেসিক মিনিমাম প্রথম কথা হচ্ছে যে আমি একটু বাংলায়ও অ্যাড করে
হ্যাঁ,
দিচ্ছি।
sure, sure.
প্রথম কথা হচ্ছে ওই ওই ছেলেটিকে বা মেয়েটিকে একটি মানুষ হতে হবে। প্রথম কথা মানুষ, কিন্তু মানে মানে গুড ম্যান অর ওম্যান, নট এ গুড স্টুডেন্ট। এবং গুড স্টুডেন্ট মানে হচ্ছে শুধু হি হ্যাজ টু ডিল উইথ অনলি একাডেমিক এক্সারসাইজেস অ্যান্ড নাথিং মোর। বাট গুড ম্যান মানে কি, সে তার ভালো হিউমার আছে, তার ভালো ব্যবহার আছে, তার ভালো এক্সপোজার ইন সাম সেভারাল সে অ্যাসপেক্টস অফ লাইফ, সাচ অ্যাজ কেউ কেউ হয়তো গান ভালোবাসে, এবং আমার স্টুডেন্টরা জানে, দে অলরেডি নো দ্যাট I am in favor of selecting those and just keeping in touch with them to extract the extracurricular activities from them out. Okay. তো যারা এটা জানে, একটা কথা কিন্তু মনে রাখতে হবে। ওই যে আমরা ছোটবেলায় একটা জোকস পড়তাম না, জোকস বলছি ইডিয়ম, যে অল জবস অ্যান্ড নো প্লে মেক জ্যাক এ ডাল বয়, হ্যাঁ তাই তো। তো সেটা যেন না হয়, সেটা হলে পরে কিন্তু সে এক্স্যাক্ট মানুষ হলো না। এবং আই এম ভেরি সরি টু সে দ্যাট nowadays the family is a unitary family, only one say son or only one daughter, and they don't have any say siblings, etc. And so the parents have all attention, every possible attention to that daughter, to that poor and humble daughter or son, isn't it? Such as মানে দুটো জিনিস আছে এখানে, বাবা মায়ের হয়তো সেরকম কোনো শিক্ষা পাননি বা চান্স পাননি আর কি, তাই তাদের এক্সপেকটেশনটা হচ্ছে আমরা যেগুলো পাইনি আমার ছেলে মেয়েরা যেন ওটা পায়। দ্যাট ইজ এ ভেরি ব্যাড পয়েন্ট, আই শুড সে, বিকজ ইউ হ্যাভ টু নো দ্য capabilities and as such the knack of your son or your daughter, আমরা সেই ন্যাকটা কিন্তু প্রথম থেকে ধরতে পারি আমরা। আমি আমার এক্সাম্পল দিচ্ছি, একটু বোধহয় একটু লাইট টক হয়ে যাবে। আমার দুই ছেলেই বলেছে যে বাবা মা তোমাদেরকেও দেখছি সারাদিন। ওর মা মানে আমার মিসেস, ও আইতে আছে SSKM এ, তো সারাদিন সারা রাত মানে সেই পেশেন্ট থেকে রাত্রি 8টার সময় ঘামতে ঘামতে এলো, আর আমি সেই পড়িয়ে 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 কখনো মিটিং কখনো। তো আমাদের দুই ছেলেই বলেছে ডাক্তারটি হব না, নিট দেব। নিট না, ওই ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং এর জন্য যেটা দেয় আমি তো ওটাও জানি না, তো সেটা দেবে। এবং ওটাতে দিয়েছে, পেয়েও গেছিল। একজন কম্পিউটার ইঞ্জিনিয়ার, একজন বায়োটেকনোলজি ওই ইয়ে করছে আর কি, থিসিস করছে। আমি কি বলছি, আমি বলছি তাহলে ওদেরকে একটা স্পেস দিতে হবে। তো you have to provide certain space in which she is likely to belong actually. No, so that space must be provided. But very sorry, I am very sorry that these days I could see, যেমন একটা এক্সাম্পল বললাম আপনাকে, আর একটা এক্সাম্পল হচ্ছে বাবা মা দুজনেই ডাক্তার, যেমন আমাদের ক্ষেত্রে বলতে পারি। এবং ডাক্তারি করতে গিয়ে আমার ধরুন প্রচুর সম্পত্তি আছে, একটা নার্সিং হোমও বানিয়ে নিয়েছি। সেই নার্সিং হোমটাকে দেখভাল কে করবে? আমার ছেলে হলে সবচেয়ে ভালো হতো। এবং আই এক্সপেন্ড অল মাই সেভিংস, আই এক্সপেন্ড এভরিথিং। তো এই সবগুলো নিয়ে আমার ছেলের পেছনে আমি যত টাকা লাগে আমি দিয়ে দিলাম, যাতে তারা অন্তত প্রাইভেটে পায়। দিস ইজ নট অ্যাকসেপ্টেবল টু মি অ্যাকচুয়ালি। ওকে, আমি একটা ছেলেকে এত টাকা দিয়ে, এবং ছেলেটার ন্যাক আছে কি নেই জানা নেই আমার, এবার ছেলেটা কিন্তু বাবাকে বলেছে যে লুক হিয়ার ফাদার, আই ডু নট হ্যাভ দ্যাট অ্যাম্বিশনস, বাট ফাদার অ্যান্ড মাদার হ্যাড ইনসিস্টেড, sternly insisted that you see, you have to look after. my so-called ওই সাম্রাজ্য যাকে বলে। So you have to do that. একটা কথা হলো তো। আর একটা দিকে আছে আপনি শুনে থাকবেন হয়তো বিডিএস, যারা ডেন্টাল আমরা যেটা নিই আর কি, বিডিএস কোর্স যারা নিই ওটা হচ্ছে প্রাইভেট ডেন্টাল। প্রাইভেট ডেন্টালের তারা হয়তো র্যাঙ্কে সেই মানে আমি তো ঠিক জানি না অনেক পেছনে, তারা ইউজুয়ালি কোথাওই পায় না। এবং আমার কাছে একজন ভদ্রলোক এসে হি হ্যাড অ্যারাইভড অ্যান্ড ওয়াজ লিটারেলি উইপিং। ওয়াই? স্যার আমার ছেলে তো এবারে মানে we conduct the BDS exams also, and one candidate has failed, miserably failed, in spite of several efforts, like some 3 to 4 efforts. Still, he had failed. So his father came and asked me that, sir, sir, please see, sir. It's all upon you, sir. মানে জানো ইউনিভার্সিটির ওপরে আমি আছি। আমি তো you see that it's not the fault of my part, but you know that the examiner has say all support to the student. মানে যেভাবেই হোক এক্সামিনিকে পাস করিয়ে দিতেই চায়, but in spite of all possible effort he failed, and that guardian told me, sir একটু স্যার দেখুন। now he was weeping. I asked him that what did you do actually? What were you doing? Profession? Sir, আমি একজন শিক্ষক, teacher. Now you imagine that the teacher is asking to a teacher to do some favor for his student. So that should not be there. So these are certain facets of life, facets which I came to know, and there are various others.
Right.
So should I continue?
Sir, if you want to.
Yes, of course. এবার কথা হচ্ছে যে অ্যানাদার এক্সাম্পল, ছেলেটির নাম বলা কি ঠিক হবে? হ্যাঁ হবে, কারণ ও জানে আমাকে। তার নাম হচ্ছে অভিলাষ ভাদুরী। আপাতত সে হচ্ছে হি ইজ অফ দ্য 3rd year ক্যান্ডিডেট। হ্যাঁ, আই থিঙ্ক ইউ অলসো নো অভিলাষ ভাদুরী। অভিলাষ ভাদুরীর মা, শি ইজ এ প্রিন্সিপাল অফ দ্যাট ডেন্টাল ইনস্টিটিউশন। ওকে, so অভিলাষ ভাদুরীর মা came to me, sir, you are so great, you are so good. I was honored because I am not that, actually, practically not. So তো শুনে তো আমি একটু ইলেটেড হয়ে গেলাম যে বাপরে, আমি তো আমাকে ভগবানের আসনে বসানো হচ্ছে রে বাবা। আমি বলছি আপনি কি চান বলুন তো ম্যাডাম? বলছে না স্যার, আমার ছেলে না আপনার খুব নাম করে। কি নাম আপনার ছেলে? স্যার, হি ইজ অভিলাষ ভাদুরী। আমি বলছি আপনার ছেলে একটি অমানুষ। He is not human. Either he is a superhuman or inhuman. So she asked me, why, sir? Why did you say so? I told that, look here, madam, that a human being is a human being only when he has got a mixture of everything. But for Ovilash, he is only concerned with academics, only reading, writing, etc., etc. No play, no joke, no expression in his face, nothing else, only reading and writing, and he stood first in all possible examination, including the competitive examinations. So what should you say? Is it good or bad? Is it good or bad? I do not say that it is good. You must be a mixture of everything. You must be having some interactions with the other students, because siblings are not available. You have to mix up, isn't it? With it, say he must be mixing up with some 10 or 15, but sadly enough, I could see that the student bearing roll number 1 doesn't even know who is roll number 125.
We are back to square one. No work, no play, and all work doesn't make someone
Exactly, but in our times, you know, that out of say 1 to 150 students, I could even remember now also the name of at least 125 students. So
Thank you for such enlightening examples. So we are getting to a very interesting part now,
Sir.
where I would ask all the students. Last week we had another session, another inspiring session of WBJE, where we had the privilege of Professor Shopon Bhattacharya with us, the former director of NIT Durgapur and currently professor at TIU as well. and he explained in a very oversimplified manner that both orthopedic surgeons and cardiologists, while specializing in different areas of medicine, rely on a fundamental understanding of mechanics and electricity, respectively, to diagnose and treat their patients. In that case, as doctors, তোমাদের কি মনে হয় ব্রিলিয়েন্টলি ইনোভেটিভ এমন কোনো ইকুইপমেন্ট হওয়া উচিত যেটা আমাদের মেডিকেল সায়েন্সকে হঠাৎ করে 100 বছর এগিয়ে দেবে? সামথিং দ্যাট ইউ অল ক্যান থিঙ্ক অ্যাবাউট. Did you understand, Nidhi, what I said?
Yeah.
Something, some equipment that the engineers or the upcoming engineers are going to make that will lead your medical science to move ahead of its time.
Okay.
Of course,
Yeah,
there will
it's,
be like many advances in technology and artificial intelligence,
Right.
which will make up many equipments which will help surgeries or medical science a lot. But if you ask me that a sudden 100-year change, that's questionable, because AI or any equipments or anything will just help doctors to do
Right.
better with the patients.
Right.
But as doctors, we are human beings. Our patients are also human beings. Their
Right.
emotions, there are many feelings that never equipments or any AI can fulfill. So of course the need of doctors will always be there.
Yes.
And therefore, to help doctors, there will be many
Mechanisms.
artificial intelligence mechanisms, many
And
equipments. But 100-year change all of a sudden is
It's
not
not
possible humanly.
Like some milestones have been set in the field of robotic
Yes.
surgery, but till now there are many more miles to go.
So you
in
all
that
are future
part.
doctors. Some
Yeah.
equipment that you think would make your life easier?
Yeah,
Is there
like
something?
during surgeries,
Yes.
the robotic hands, if the doctor operates it, it will be more precisely the surgery can be done at that time. That is to assist the doctor, but we can't rely entirely on
No,
that
I'm not
AI.
saying you have to rely on it
Yeah.
entirely, but something that can more, some equipment that will more advance the field of medical science.
Yeah, the robotic hands that is a part of now robotic surgery. The latest technique is that in that would help the doctors in surgery in case of precision.
Okay, you just
That-
want the advancement of robotics that we already have.
Yeah.
Okay.
More
Equipment,
advancements and
most
more
of-
precision.
Okay.
মোস্ট অফ দ্য ইকুইপমেন্টস আর ইম্পোর্টেড অ্যান্ড দে আর হাই প্রাইসড, সো পেশেন্টের উপরে অনেক বেশি ফাইন্যান্সিয়াল বার্ডেন হয়।
আচ্ছা।
যদি একটু বেটার কোয়ালিটি এবং
Right.
একটু চিপেস্ট,
Cheaper.
হ্যাঁ, অ্যাজ পার ফাইন্যান্সিয়াল অ্যাসপেক্টে যদি একটু বাড়ানো যায় তাহলে পেশেন্টের জন্য অনেক বেশি ইজি হবে ব্যাপারটা মেডিকেল ফিস এক্সপেন্স
again
নিতে।
coming back to my NEET is aspirants, তারা অনেকক্ষণ ধরে বসে আছে, আমরা স্লাইটলি একটু ড্রিফট অ্যাওয়ে করে গেছিলাম from our main topic of last minute preparation. So getting back to the NEET exam again, তো তোমরা কনসিস্টেন্টলি মোটিভেটেড কি করে ছিলে? সাম অফ ইউ হ্যাড ড্রপ ইয়ার্স অ্যান্ড দেন তারপরেও তোমরা কনসিস্টেন্টলি নিজেদেরকে মোটিভেটেড রেখেছো, অ্যান্ড I guess there are many students out there who have been studying for a long time, আর তাদেরও কিছু একটা মনে হচ্ছে কোন ব্রেকটা নিলে আমার গিল্ট ফিলিংও হবে না, বাট দেন अगेन আই হ্যাভ মাইন্ড সেট যেটা আবার আমাকে আবার নতুন enthusiasm দেবে so that I can prepare again.
First of all,
like
it's meditation, I'll say. Meditation helped me throughout my NEET journey. Meditation is something that you will not feel guilty after doing it.
Right.
You will feel even more enlightenment, I would say. Because अगर आप सोशल मीडिया यूज करेंगे तो उसके बाद आपको इतना गिल्ट होगा कि उस गिल्ट के मारे ही फिर आप और नहीं पढ़ पाओगे. तो एक मेडिटेशन हुआ. दूसरा फेथ. आप जो भी किसी पे भी फेथ रखो, आप जिसको भी मानते हो, कोई भी गॉड हो, किसी को भी, तो फेथ. थर्ड, फैमिली सपोर्ट.
Right, very important.
Yeah.
What helped me to keep my consistency is the offline test series. যখন অফলাইন টেস্ট সিরিজে যেতাম তারা একটা গোল দিত যে 1 উইকের মধ্যে এতটা সিলেবাস করতে হবে, তো ওইটা কমপ্লিশন নিয়ে আমাকে
তুমি
এনলাইনমেন্ট দিত।
পড়াশোনা থেকে ব্রেক নিয়ে পড়াশোনাই করতে?
না, অ্যাজ পার ব্রেক আমি একটু হেঁটে আসতাম।
আচ্ছা, সেটাই আমি
we should do like half an hour in the evening we can do some sports like badminton or cricket or
Right.
football
Right.
because that gives some refreshment rather
Exactly.
than scrolling down the reels in Instagram. It's more beneficial.
Physical
Yeah,
activity
yeah,
is required.
that if we play, go outside and play for half an hour,
Right.
and then we can again come back fully recharged again.
Right.
And meditation, of course, is very important as Nidhi
Right.
specified.
Right.
What
All
I
yes.
feel is teachers play a very important role
Right.
in your NEET preparation journey to keep you motivated all the times. Good teachers are someone who can change your life. I had some of such teachers, so I can say that yes, if you get a good teacher, please talk to them about your problems because they are training many of such students like you and they have idea how to go through it. So having good teachers and having good friends you can talk to properly is very important to stay motivated and keep your effectiveness throughout the journey.
Right. So, how long had you all been preparing for NEET?
So I had one drop year.
Okay.
So 11, 12 and one drop year. But I did not study at all in class 11. I'll be very truthful. But I did study in class 12 and drop year, which brought me
So
here.
2 years.
Yeah.
So it's as early as 2 years you started preparing for NEET.
I think it's not about how early you start preparing for NEET,
Right.
but it's about during the time duration, how you utilize your time to prepare for NEET. I did in 12, I went to Kota. So but मुझे एक साल कोटा को 12th में समझने में ही लग गया था.
Okay.
So I took a drop and उस drop year में मैंने बहुत अच्छे से prepare किया, मन लगा के I was like I have to do it. So
You kept your focus. Right.
yeah.
And main thing is for NEET, consistent.
Right.
Because every day, like one day you study for 3 hours, and the next day no study, and
Right,
again the
right.
next day 12 hours.
Right.
That's the worst thing. We
You have to be
should
consistent.
every day, like you study for 6 hours, it's okay. And like the last time now, you should study for like 10 to 12 hours minimum because it's the last time. And the best you can give, you will come out with better flying colors.
Okay,
in this
how
last
did
time.
you all divide time amongst the three subjects, physics, chemistry, biology, for the last 1 month of your NEET preparation? The last 1 month.
For me, it was physics was my weakest part. So I was about to like I have to divide time most of the time to physics. And in the last month, you have to basically revise both 11th, 12th, and you also have to give mock test again and again and again. So divide your mornings and evenings. One for 11th, one for 12th. And in the between time, pick up 3 hours and solve a paper religiously. That's the only thing you can do. And at night, you sit with the paper, analyze it for 1 hour, and understand your mistakes so that you are prepared for the revision of the next day. And for me, I would like to suggest that every day we can't go to institutions for giving mock tests.
No.
Many of the tests we outsource from many media platforms that we get. And solving, many of the students I have seen that they check their papers on their own also. Don't do that. Anyone you have with you, let them check that for you because there are answers available.
Okay.
You only analyze and then divide rest of the times according to your divisions of subjects, your like need of subjects, and also with 11th and 12th basis.
Right. And you already answered my next question that I was about to ask, something that you did religiously every day. So that's like solving the question
Mock
paper.
papers.
Yeah, that's the most
you all
important
agree
thing.
to that?
Yes,
Yeah,
not
yes.
only solving. The main important part is about analyzing it.
Right.
That's the means most
That is
important part. Only solve and again give the next exam. No point in that. We have to first analyze as I told before, the questions that we have done incorrect rather than and more important than those we have left.
Right.
That's more important.
So solve, analyze, and please don't repeat your mistakes in that next question paper. Because after you have analyzed, maybe you are repeating that same mistakes. What is the benefit of analyzing your paper, right? So don't repeat your mistakes in next paper.
Right. So, what was your strategy to learn inorganic chemistry?
Make short notes.
Short notes.
Yeah.
And how did you memorize the equations?
Revision.
Revision.
Revision is
Revision.
the main.
And for the formula, we have to do many calculations and many questions.
I
As
had-
per the number of questions in case, it will give you the confidence.
Okay.
And especially for physics and chemistry, there are in-text questions in the NCERT books that will be very helpful for the because the direct questions are coming in the in it.
I had a thing which is I felt that very useful. I had a formula book,
Okay.
a short notebook. Anybody can buy a short diary or something. Write all the formulas there. Whenever you are learning chapter by chapter, write the formulas, just the formulas or the equations there, and every day morning just turn the pages. It will be give you a photographic memory. Okay, this was the equation.
Right.
And for NEET, we do not need too many, like we do not get questions like J, that too much calculation, too many tough equations. No. Basic equations are enough. Just you have to remember them during your exam. So photographic memory is very important at that part.
So, there's a minimum of numericals coming from physics.
Numericals are there, but not like too big numericals. As we can see that 180 questions, 180 minutes. Each question,
Very short.
1 minute.
Right.
We cannot give like 5 to 10 minutes for one physics questions.
So, এমন কি আছে যে এই সেম ফিজিক্স কোয়েশ্চেন গুলো there are two methods of solving, something that you do it in a minute and something which is stepwise and it takes
Yeah.
a bit longer time.
Yeah, but
So where should these students learn or practice from যাতে একদম short to the point তাড়াতাড়ি করে নিউমেরিক্যাল গুলো সলভ করার স্ট্র্যাটেজি খুঁজে পায়?
ওখানে ডিফারেন্সটা আসে of your boards preparation and this competitive exam. You have to learn the steps from the every books that there are available in the market for your boards. But for any competitive exam, you have to find the shortest way. It might seem much lame to many people. Like many of my friends has had ways of remembering equations or doing multiplications which seemed very lame. But if it's right to you and if it's giving you the right
Whichever you
answers,
feel
it
easier.
is the correct answer. That's
So whichever you are comfortable
Yeah.
in. So সেটা হচ্ছে আমাদের নিজেদের কমফর্ট জোনে থেকে আমরা যেভাবে সলভ করতে চাইবো আমরা সেটাই করব। দেখো
For physics and chemistry, physical chemistry
Huh.
specifically,
Huh.
always try to maintain a formula book.
Okay.
It's very, very important.
Do you suggest any book name?
No. I
You have
was
to
telling
make it.
about that you should make on your own.
Okay.
The many formula books are although present in the market, but please don't go for that. Make your own ones. Like I also got help from my father and mother in my home in making my formula books.
Okay.
They also helped me out, and it was really a boon in the last time. And for organic chemistry, you can write down the equations that all the balanced equations and everything. That's the best method to remember it.
But-
Otherwise, you will not be able to do it.
But if someone can't make a short note at this time, he can use a book, Physics Made Easy by Emerson. That is a
Okay.
good book.
ভেরি গুড। সো এটাই মানে কম্পিটিটিভের তো কোনো স্ট্রাকচার্ড ফর্মুলা নেই যে এইভাবেই
No,
পড়তে
no,
হবে।
no.
কম্পিটিটিভ হচ্ছে তোমার নিজের চয়েস, তোমার নিজের ডিটারমিনেশন, ডিসিশন, হোয়াট ইউ ওয়ান্ট টু ডু, হোয়াট ইউ আর কমফোর্টেবল ইন।
Yes.
সেরকম অ্যাজ সাচ কোনো স্পেসিফিক গাইড নেই।
But too many resources are very harmful.
ভেরি হার্মফুল।
You should always first know how to limit your resource. That's the
Right.
most important thing.
রাইট।
Too many resources doesn't
মানে
mean
যদি-
that too much score and marks.
তো তোমরা যদি অ্যাজ সিনিয়র্স তোমরা সবাই ক্র্যাক করেছো, যদি স্পেসিফাই করে দাও ওদেরকে প্রত্যেকটা সাবজেক্ট, যেরকম ইনঅর্গানিকে বললে যে নিজের নোটস বানিয়ে ফর্মুলা বই বানিয়ে
Yes.
সেরকম ফিজিক্স, কেমিস্ট্রি, বায়োলজি তিনটেরই, বা অ্যাজ তিয়াশা ওয়াজ সেইং যে বায়োলজি দুটো পার্ট, বটানি এন্ড জুলজি। তো এইরকম করে যদি আমরা ভাগ করে নিই তাহলে কোন কোন বই বা ওয়েবসাইট অর এনিথিং দ্যাট দে শুড বি ফলোইং, মানে স্পেসিফিক যদি তোমরা করে দাও।
for biology, NCERT. In block letters, NCERT. Bus. That's enough. That's 100%. That's everything you need. For chemistry, there are 3 revisions: physical, organic, inorganic. Inorganic, NCERT and short notes, whatever you make from NCERT. Organic, you will have to take use of some reference book along with NCRT to understand the reactions better. For physical chemistry is same as physics. Maintain your formula book as I said earlier, and go on practicing more and more questions. When you do questions, you will understand that subject. If you just read, that's none of use. You have to practice and practice, and then you will go to a point that every question you see, it will be like, ha erokom question ami ageo korechi. It will boost your confidence.
Right.
And many students just only read, and after that, no execution. While we study, many students think that we can understand everything. Now it's okay, no need of means practicing any DPP or anything. But the main important thing is first see your execution after studying. Not only study. Every day try to solve some papers.
Right.
The execution is very important to
Right.
analyze yourself.
আর যতটা কোশ্চেন পেপার কোশ্চেন সলভ করবে তখনই বই পড়ার সময় কোশ্চেনগুলো দেখলে বোঝা যাবে যে এইখান থেকে এটা এইভাবে কোশ্চেন হতে পারে,
Right.
এবং বোঝা যাবে যে এটা ভুল করেছিলাম, এটাকে একটা মার্ক করে রাখা দরকার যাতে করে নেক্সট টাইম আবার না ভুল হতে পারে, রিভিশনের সময় ইজিলি তাড়াতাড়ি রিভিশন করা যেতে পারে,
Right.
এটা হেল্পফুল হতে
And
পারে।
if you have to follow something, I'll say that you follow a particular coaching. Don't go in all 2-3 coachings and follow different coachings for every different thing. It will only confuse your mind. So
Okay.
follow a particular one coaching. Their textbooks, of course, NCRT is there. NCRT is like Ramban, but yeah.
So, do you all prefer coaching classes over self-study?
Both is equally
Both are
important.
important.
Both are
Like
important.
NCRT is everything we have in that,
Okay.
but to means many things are not in a proper sequence.
Right.
For that we need a teacher who would always support us.
Right.
So we should always concentrate over a single coaching. At first you have to have faith on our teachers.
Right.
Many think that must be that teacher might be teaching better, so I should try him or her also, and my teacher won't teach that good, but that's very wrong.
আমার তো
Yeah.
কোনো কোচিংই ছিল না, আমি জাস্ট অনলাইন রিসোর্সই ইউজ করেছি, কোনো কোচিং
আচ্ছা,
ছিল না।
সেটাও
Me too.
possible.
Me too.
Seটাও
Only
possible.
online resource. In one room, I closed myself, and only online resources. That is physics wala.
Acha.
It's a very good platform nowadays and
So-
affordable also.
कोचिंग इज फॉर डायरेक्शन. सो 70:30 कोचिंग से आपको डायरेक्शन मिल जाएगा किधर कैसे पढ़ना है. अब वो डायरेक्शन लेके आपको पढ़ना तो खुद ही पड़ेगा.
Yeah.
तो सेल्फ स्टडी तो अल्टीमेट करना ही करना पड़ेगा. कोचिंग जाके आपको पता चल जाएगा हाँ ये बुक पढ़ना है, ये चैप्टर में ये पार्ट इम्पोर्टेंट है, तो फिर आप उसको आके घर में खुद पढ़ सकते हैं. सो बोथ इज वेरी इक्वली इम्पोर्टेंट. यू हैव टू बैलेंस दैट.
Because many students enroll in coaching centers every year. All
सबका
of
नहीं
them
होता है.
तो doesn't get.
So it's up to you
Yeah.
if you will make it or not. Okay, last 1 month revision. So how did you all balance between time management and accuracy?
प्रैक्टिस टेस्ट.
Practicing more and more question papers.
यस.
How did
That's
you all,
why.
how did you all do that? Like in 1 minute, I have to complete one or
Yes.
two or more questions.
Yes.
How did you all achieve that?
অ্যাকচুয়ালি
Like,
পরীক্ষায় কোশ্চেন গুলো তো খুব টাফ আছে না, এটা একটু ট্রিকি আছে, কোথাও নট এক্সেপ্ট এই ধরনের জিনিসগুলো হিডেন থাকে, তো এগুলো কোশ্চেনটা রিড করার সময় ওই পয়েন্টগুলো একটু পেন দিয়ে মার্ক করে দিতে হবে যাতে করে ওগুলো হাইলাইটেড থাকে এক্সামে ওইটা দেওয়ার সময়, মানে অ্যান্সার দেওয়ার সময়।
Right.
আর সেম মিস্টেক গুলো মানে রিডিং মিস্টেক, যেমন মাইটোসিসকে মিওসিস পড়ে নিচ্ছি, এই ধরনের মিস্টেক গুলো বারবার আমরা সাধারণত করি, সেম মিস্টেক বারবার রিপিটই হয়। তো একটা ডায়েরি মেনটেন করলে ভালো হয় যাতে করে নিজের মিস্টেক গুলো মেনটেন করে লেখা যায়।
Right.
একবার যদি লিখে দিই মিস্টেক গুলো তাহলে ওটা আর মিস্টেক হয় না।
মানে ওরা বারবারই সবাই একটাই কথা বলছে, অ্যানালাইজিং ইওর ওন মিস্টেক ইজ ভেরি ইম্পর্টেন্ট, অ্যান্ড অ্যানালাইজ করে সেটাকে রেকটিফাই করা, দ্যাট ইজ আ কি পয়েন্ট ফর নিট প্রিপারেশন। সো আরেকটা কথা বলবো, সিন্স উই ওয়ার টকিং অ্যাবাউট রিসোর্সেস অ্যান্ড বুকস, ইজ দেয়ার সামথিং, সাম আন্ডাররেটেড রিসোর্স দ্যাট হ্যাড হেল্পড ইউ? NCRT we have all agreed to, but some underrated resource that have helped all of you during the NEET preparation?
এনসিআরটি তে একটা সল্টের পোর্শন অ্যাড হয়েছে,
Salt.
সল্ট অ্যানালিসিস।
Salt analysis.
হ্যাঁ, তো ওটা
আচ্ছা।
এনসিআরটির ওই ওয়েবসাইটে করে এনসিআরটি পিডিএফ ম্যানুয়ালস মানে প্র্যাকটিক্যাল ম্যানুয়ালস এর কিছু পিডিএফ আছে, ওইগুলো থেকে কোশ্চেন গুলো আসে।
আচ্ছা, রাইট। সো কামিং ব্যাক টু ইউ স্যার অ্যাগেন, এখন আজকালকার দিনে ইন্টারডিসিপ্লিনারি সাবজেক্টস আর ভেরি ইমার্জিং। সেখানে এই যে যারা নিট প্রিপেয়ার করছে তাদের ফিজিক্স কেমিস্ট্রি এই দুটো ম্যান্ডেটরি সাবজেক্ট along with biology. So there might be a question যে এই মেডিকেল সায়েন্স বা বায়োলজি রিলেটেড সাবজেক্ট গুলোতে হাউ ইজ ইট সো ইম্পর্টেন্ট? Why is it physics and chemistry so important?
You see that the physics and you know, first of all, why then I can ask you rather that why this MBBS or any so-called professional course, you need to be you have to be your subjects on chemistry, physics, biology, etc. Then you are eligible to appear for MBBS. So here only you can know that they are interrelated, chemistry, biology, as well as physics, etc., including mathematics sometimes because we have in our course also we are having this organic chemistry, which is known as the biochemistry in our. So biochemistry also had got this numerical questions, which I also don't know now because, naturally. So in that case, you require mathematics, some mathematics only. Similarly, you need physics because you know that any instrument which we are actually handling many instruments, just like the engineers, etc. We are also having scalpels, knives, etc., and some specialized instruments which needs automation by some electrical appliances, etc. So instrument means you need to know some aspects of the physics even, isn't it? And of course, biochemistry deals with it is a basis. It forms the basis of all the drugs, etc., the medicines, etc., the chemicals, the injections. That's why that's how the you have to be related to biochemistry in that. And biology, of course, that the evolution was one of the chapter, is one of the chapter both in the higher secondary as well as in our MBBS. So for example, suppose only a small example, because I only know that I do not know about the 11, 12 physics, chemistry, but I know about this first year MBBS courses in that which we have to take some classes on development of heart.
Okay.
And while the heart is developing, it will be containing some series of events. Suppose at the initial event, the heart of that human being looks like a fish. You know that by evolution, fishes, then amphibians, then reptiles, aves, mammals, etc. So initially, our heart looks like the heart of fish. As we go by, then we are promoted. The heart is now looking like that of amphibians, that is frogs, toads, etc. In this way, bit by bit, and whenever that embryo or that baby is destined to be a human being, then that heart will be transformed into a human heart. So in this way, you have to just relate this thing to the biology also. So that is why I can say that this interrelation must exist.
Must exist.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. That was beautifully explained. So coming back to you all again, did you all ever feel like quitting from the preparation part, the struggle part?
Yeah, often.
Often. And how
Yes.
did you all overcome that?
Meditation
Meditation.
helps a lot.
And like that's when we need our teachers also.
Okay.
They give a very big mental support to us at that time. Their motivation.
And স্পেশালি
works.
এই সময়গুলোতে পেরেন্টসরা খুব হেল্পফুল হয়।
Yeah, and
Parents
talking to our parents
একটু
also.
সময় স্পেন্ড করলে ওরা খুব হেল্প
Yeah.
করে।
এটা আমি একটু একটা জিনিস অ্যাড করতে পারি যদি আমাকে পারমিশন দেওয়া হয়।
Yes, sir.
I used to pat the students every time, and they all know, and that is after this NEET, of course. And আমি খুঁজে খুঁজে বার করি যে কোন ছেলেটা চুপ করে বসে আছে, তাদেরকে ধরে আনি আমি। এরা সবাই জানে হয়তো, এরকম করে আরো অনেককে পেয়েছি, এখন নামগুলো এক্স্যাক্টলি মনে পড়ছে না। তাই সেই স্টুডেন্টরা এখনো আমি নিজে আর কি পার্সোনাল, আমাদের অ্যানাটমি ফ্যাকাল্টি প্রায় সবাই, এটা আমার একটা স্পেশাল দিক আছে যাতে এগুলোকে বার করি, এবং সেই স্টুডেন্টরা এখনো আমাকে ওই ওই যে বলছিল না সোশ্যাল মিডিয়া হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ, তাতে করে এখনো বলে স্যার আপনার এই অ্যাডভাইসটা আমার লেগেছে, কাজে লেগেছে। ওকে নিয়ে আমি স্পেশালি বসে আই সিট অ্যালং উইথ হিম ফর আওয়ার্স টুগেদার। এবং কিছু কিছু ছেলে কি কি একটা কোনো একটা হয়তো ছোট একটা রোগ আছে যেটা নিয়ে ও খুব মানে হি ইজ থিঙ্কিং অফ দ্যাট, যে ওর কোনো ক্ষতি হবে কিনা, ওকে নিজে ডেকে আনি আমি, এবং নিজে ওকে, আমাদের যে মেডিকেল ইনস্টিটিউশন তো সবই ডিসিপ্লিন আছে ওখানে, ওকে ওখানে নিজে নিয়ে যাই আমি, দেখি, এবং ওকে ধরে ধরে কাউন্সেলিং আমাকে করতে হয়।
ওকে,
তাই তাতে করেও খুব অনেকটা উপকার হয়।
And during our NEET preparation, we are like not in touch with anyone. Only our parents we
Right.
are in touch. So they gave an extreme mental support to us at that time. Talking to them just relieves us.
আচ্ছা, তোমরা সবাই মক টেস্ট প্রচুর দিয়েছো। ইট
হুম।
ওয়াজ সামথিং দ্যাট ওয়াজ
এই
ডেইলি পার্ট অফ দ্য
nine-
রুটিন।
Yes.
এই
Yeah.
ইয়ারে আমি 95টা দিয়েছি।
আচ্ছা, দারুণ। 95 ইজ আ লট। তো এই সময় কারোর কম বেশি ভালো খারাপ হয়েছে, তো এই পিয়ার কম্প্যারিজন বা পিয়ার প্রেশার ব্যাপারটা হাউ ডিড ইট এফেক্ট ইউ?
सबसे पहले तो पूछो ही मत सामने वाला से कि उसका कितना आया है, किसी और से क्या मतलब है, सिर्फ अपना देखो। फिर भी अगर मान लो किसी का पता चल गया
हाँ।
तो व्हाट यू हैव टू डू इज छोड़ दो। नहीं सोचो उसके बारे में, क्योंकि तो किसी और का कितना आ रहा है उससे तुम्हारी पढ़ाई में तो इफेक्ट नहीं हो रहा है ना, बल्कि अगर उसका ज्यादा आ गया तुम्हारा कम आ गया उसके बारे में तुम बहुत सोच रहे हो, तो उससे तुम्हारा पढ़ाई और कम ही हो रहा है, बढ़ तो रहा नहीं है। और लास्ट 1 मंथ में तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है कि आप किसी का भी और का मार्क्स नहीं ध्यान दो, सिर्फ अपना ध्यान दो। इसके लिए और सिर्फ अपना ध्यान देने के लिए आप खुद पे सेल्फ फोकस करने के लिए, सेल्फ फोकस स्टडीज करने के लिए किसी से बात करना है तो ऑब्वियसली पेरेंट्स है। उसके लिए आप पीयर अपने दोस्तों से बहुत ज्यादा, टीचर्स हैं, पेरेंट्स हैं, टीचर्स एंड पेरेंट्स लास्ट 1 मंथ में बहुत हेल्प करते हैं। इंस्टेड ऑफ, मतलब फ्रेंड्स तो करते ही है, बट फ्रेंड्स के साथ वो कंपटीशन वाला भाव आ जाता है ना, सो पेरेंट्स एंड टीचर्स।
For me, it was kind of different. My advice here would be different because I went to a offline coaching where we were like posted on the notice board about the marks. So obviously we will get to know others' marks. We can't do anything about it. And for me, we had a class where like 10 people, we had a group and we used to get to know every one of them and every one of their marks. So when we take it healthy, then we can discuss our questions with them. What we did wrong and they did correct, they can teach me. What I did correct and they didn't, I can teach them. If you can maintain this healthy relation with your friends, it will be very useful in your preparation because there are competitors, lakhs of competitors around all over India.
Right.
Don't consider your friends to be one.
Mock-
Consider it healthy.
মক টেস্টের নাম্বার কম এলে মেন প্রবলেমটা যেটা হয়, আমরা অ্যাকসেপ্ট করতে পারি না। প্রথমে আগে অ্যাকসেপ্ট করতে হবে যে হ্যাঁ কম এসছে, আমারই কোথাও ফল্ট ছিল, সেটাকে রেকটিফাই করতে হবে, তারপরে এক্সাম দিতে হবে।
Right.
ওই অ্যাকসেপ্টেন্সটা না এলেই ফ্রাস্ট্রেটিং ব্যাপারটা এগিয়ে যায়।
প্রত্যেকটা পার্সপেক্টিভই ইম্পর্টেন্ট। ওদের চারজনেরই 4 রকমের পার্সপেক্টিভ, বাট প্রত্যেক দিক দিয়ে দেখলেই মনে হয় ওরা ঠিকই বলছে। সো তোমার ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল পার্সপেক্টিভ যেটা, আই থিংক দ্যাট ইজ অলসো রাইট।
Yeah, healthy competition is good until it becomes toxic.
রাইট।
Yes. আর অনেকেই এই ভয়টার জন্য পরীক্ষাই দেয় না,
পরীক্ষা
সেটা একদমই উচিত না।
আচ্ছা,
ওই যদি আমরা ওটাকে ফেসই না করলাম, যদি সে এক্সাম খারাপও হোক, কিন্তু যে এক্সাম ফিয়ারটা, ওটা ওভারকাম করার, ওটারও তো একটা ট্রেনিং আমরা পাচ্ছি।
ওটাই হচ্ছে ডরকে আগে
Yes,
জিতে।
डर के आगे जीत है।
একদম।
Everyone knows that.
যদি 70-80% সিলেবাস কমপ্লিট হয়ে থাকে তাহলে অবভিয়াসলি পিওর মক টেস্টে চলে যাওয়া উচিত।
একদম। আচ্ছা, এরকম অনেক স্টুডেন্টই হয় যা তোমাদের মতো যারা ডেডিকেটেড, যে আমরা 4 বছর 5 বছর যাই হোক, আই এম গোইং টু চেজ মাই ড্রিম। অনেকেই হয় এত কারেজ থাকে না, তারা ভাবে যে নিটে অ্যাপিয়ার করছি, কিন্তু একটা অল্টারনেটিভ বা একটা ব্যাকআপ প্ল্যান রেখে দেয়। Most people go for microbiology, biotechnology, pharmacy courses as their primary choice of
Yes.
alternate option. So, how do you think all these 3 subjects are related to this field, a field of medical science?
Of course,
Yeah.
like we learn about medicine, pharmacy will obviously be very related to medical.
Right.
We will like I also thought of like I'll be a doctor when before giving it, but for some reason, not maybe everyone also thinks about me about being a doctor. I have known students who give NEET for these courses. They are not actually interested in being a doctor, but interested in the procedures like of biotechnology procedures, the things that we do there about genetics and everything, about the pharmacy, about the medicines we get, about many things. They are interested in those, and that's why they appear for NEET.
Right.
So obviously these are all related. It's not like
all related
when if you don't go to MBBS, it's the end. It's not
the end
like
of
that.
life.
And there are many related subjects also. Like with MBBS, that's why they want to pursue those as a backup plan. Like in pharmacy, there are the common subjects like pharmacology, physiology,
Right.
and biochemistry and microbiology. These subjects are common, so they take it as a backup plan. That's why.
Okay. For your information, Techno India University do have all these subjects like pharmacy, microbiology, and biochemistry, biotechnology, both in BSc and BTech courses. So, for more details, please contact our helpline numbers. Moving on. So, you all explained to me your daily routine and the importance of a little play and some. Obviously some study. So what was your exact routine for the last 1 month?
My routine was to like I used to get up at about 9 because I am a late riser. I can't wake up in the morning. I used to get up at 9 maybe, and I had my mother with me in my hostel for the last 1 month. I stayed alone for the entire preparation otherwise. So she would bring me my breakfast and I would straight up sit for studying. As I said, my morning was dedicated for class 11th.
Okay.
Then I would take a break. I'll go to my friend's room or someone in the hostel. I'll talk to them for some refreshment and all. Then after lunch, I used to give my test for the 3 hours. And if I can complete it before, my target was always to fulfill it within 2.5 hours.
Right.
And that should be yours too, because you never know the length of the question. It might get too lengthy than the ones you practice. So practice it in less time. And after that, evenings were again some like rest. You can take some rest. And then I used to go to my 12th preparation.
And how did you manage all the distractions around you? Like maybe a birthday party or maybe a movie that you want to watch in the cinemas or a new released book, some or social media, of course, WhatsApp. How did you all just manage and control?
नीट
It
के
was
बाद
really a tough task because
That is a very important
yeah,
thing
yeah,
we should be knowing.
yeah. Like nowadays I like movies very much, so I go to the movie hall like every weekend and watch one movie every weekend. And at that time I used to do this nothing I could do. And about these birthday parties and other occasions at family, I used to stay at home, and my mother would give me motivation by not going. She used to stay with me and give mental support to me
Yes.
at that time. And that, yeah, need sacrifices.
Need
And we
sacrifice.
have to do that.
Just
And not
Yeah.
only us, our family members too. are
just remind
included
yourself
in
that it's just one more month, and after
Yeah.
this month,
Yeah.
you can do
Everything.
everything you want. You can go every place you want. So it's just 1 month. Keep that month to yourself. Give
And
it
that's
completely
the
to
Yeah.
best
yourself.
time of life after giving the NEET exam. If we crack it.
Yeah, in
It's full of freedom. You do anything, no one will say nothing.
Your parents
So
will
keep
also
in
be
mind.
happy
Yeah.
because of your good score. If you
Yes.
score good, they will also give you the freedom
Yes.
you always wanted.
Yeah, in fact, I completely left my social media. In fact, I did not have a smartphone. I had a keypad, and now I, of course, I have a very good phone, like a smartphone. So this is my reward. This will be your reward. So अगर आपको जरूरत पड़ता है कि उस समय फोन हटाना, सोशल मीडिया हटाना, बर्थडे पार्टीज नहीं हटाना, तो हटा दो. फिर आपको कॉलेज में आने के बाद उससे बहुत ज्यादा मिलेगा. दैट विल बी योर रिवॉर्ड. कॉलेज में आने के बाद इतने अच्छे अच्छे दोस्त मिलेंगे आप लोग को कि आपको फिर वो बर्थडे पार्टीज कभी आप मिस किए थे वो याद भी नहीं रहेगा.
मीठा बढ़ जाता है.
Yes, definitely.
आफ्टर सक्सेस मीठा बढ़ जाता है. ठीक है.
অ্যাকচুয়ালি
Okay,
এতে
হ্যাঁ।
একটা নিট এক্সাম শুধু একজন ক্যান্ডিডেট দেয় না, তার পেরেন্টসরাও দেয়.
পুরো
তো
right.
হ্যাঁ, পেরেন্টসের একটা বড় জার্নি থাকে, অনেকটা হেল্প থাকে. তো ওরাই এই জিনিসগুলোতে খুব হেল্পফুল হয়.
Right.
ওই মেন্টাল পিসটা ওইখান থেকেই আসে.
Right. আচ্ছা,
Yes, when we
হ্যাঁ,
see that
sure.
our parents are doing so much sacrifices for us, that time seeing that only we get motivated. That when they can stay, we can definitely stay behind and study a little harder.
Right, right.
Definitely.
আচ্ছা, এমন কোন একটা one myth that you had heard about NEET preparation that you want to burst for my NEET aspirants?
That NEET is very hard.
It's not? Is it?
After you come to MBBS, you'll understand.
What is hard?
NEET is hard, but you can crack it rather more easily if you maintain the consistency every day. Like every day, you don't have to study for 18-20 hours. 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours self study is more than enough.
অনেকেই ভাবে যে শুধু প্রিভিয়াস ইয়ার্স কোশ্চেনটাই এনাফ হবে নিটে একটা ভালো স্কোর করার জন্য, কিন্তু এত বেশি স্কোর লাগছে এখন, এত বেশি কাট অফ বেড়েছে যে শুধু পিআইকিউ এনাফ হবে না.
আচ্ছা, ডাউটফুল কোয়েশ্চেন যদি তোমাদের কোয়েশ্চেন পেপারে থেকে থাকে, তোমরা সেটা কি করো? মানে একটা কোয়েশ্চেন পড়তে পড়তে এটা একটা ডাউট লাগছে, আনসারটা আই এম নট ভেরি কনফিডেন্ট. হোয়াট ডিড ইউ ডু
I leave it for the last, for the end.
ফর দ্য এন্ড?
Because I completed my paper within 2.5 hours, and that you should also do.
রাইট.
That should be your strategy, because like the paper level can be anything. You should always reserve last half an hour for means re-evaluating and rechecking the questions that you couldn't attend.
রাইট. আচ্ছা, তোমরা টোটাল কটা কোয়েশ্চেন অ্যাটেম্প্ট করেছিলে and how many of them were guesses?
For me, I attempted full paper, except just one question in physics because,
And how many out of that was a guess?
okay, in physics you cannot. Everyone knows that physics में आप solve किया answer आ गया, so you have आप tick कर दोगे. And physics you cannot guess, but I did guess one, and guess what? It was correct.
Okay, quickly one more question. What should be the checklist for NEET exam? Like, what should the student be getting with themselves to the exam hall?
Just the important papers, your admit,
And that is
2 copies of
Important
admit,
Admit card.
admit
2 copies
card,
admit card,
And try to wear the most simplistic
Comfortable
outfit
cloth you
it's
have.
available. Then your security checking will be that much easier.
Acha.
Otherwise, you will get panic before exam only. Then how will you be able
Be
to
able to give exam.
bear it in the next 3 hours?
Take a transparent water bottle.
1 photo ID card, preferably Aadhaar card, 2 copies of admit card, about around 3 copies of
Acha.
photographs.
Passport size photos.
Acha.
Passport size.
That was, please note it down. All these are really very important. And one more thing, তোমরা প্রচুর mock exam দিয়েছো, তো তার মধ্যে was there some negative mark that really cost you hard?
In NEET?
NEET?
Yes,
Of course.
definitely.
NEET aspirants or 80 competitive exams,
Right.
worst nightmare is negative marking.
Yes. So, did it cost anything?
no,
For
for
you
me,
was-
I had given enough marks not to do silly mistakes.
Yes. How do
But-
you overcome silly mistakes?
Like he said, we have to mark the questions because NEET
Right.
questions are tricky. You have to mark
Right.
what the correct word. Like there are many hidden words in the question. If you get that, you'll get the question very easily. So mark it always. And in your marks, obviously, if you get it wrong, mark it with red pen and again and circle it
Right.
so that you can see it again and again. That's the only way to reduce silly mistake.
And
And in
Unfortunately,
case of physics, the silly mistakes are most. Because in case of physics, the common silly mistakes are in case of units. Like some question, it's asked to answer in centimeters, and you answered in meters. That's the biggest silly mistake, and you would repent very much for that. Please see that seriously.
আর একটা জায়গায় যেখানে খুব মিস্টেক হয় সেটা হচ্ছে ক্যালকুলেশনের সময় ফিজিক্সে করে, তো অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমাদের এক্সট্রা সিট দেওয়া হয় না ক্যালকুলেশনের জন্য, তো অনেকে ওই কোশ্চেনের পাশে খুব ছোট ছোট করে ক্যালকুলেশন চেষ্টা করে, ওটা যদি ক্লিয়ারলি কেউ না করে তো ওখানে মিস্টেক হওয়ার খুব চান্স থাকে।
লাস্টে মার্ক করতে ভুল হয়ে যায়।
না, ও ক্যালকুলেশনের সময় একটা জিরো ছেড়ে
একটা
যায়,
zero
ওই
ছেড়ে যায়।
ছোট জায়গায় করার চেষ্টা করে, তো পেছনের জায়গাটা করলে খুব সুবিধা হয়।
আচ্ছা, এক্সামের দিন, এক্সাম হলে ঢোকার আর এক্সামের আগের দিন রাত্রে, what was the feeling and how
Nightmare.
should you just have control over
এক্সামের
yourself?
আগের দিন I would recommend যে এক্সামের আগের দিন complete revision, finish it. Don't keep anything for the morning of the exam, since we have exams from 2 p.m. generally. So don't keep anything from the for the morning. Finish your revision and just sleep. Don't think about it, because if you think, obviously it will be hard. You will feel very bad that maybe I missed this, maybe I missed that. Don't just do that. Just finish everything and just sleep. Get a good sleep. I would recommend a 8-hour sleep. Wake up and just the short notes or the books, the simplest book or the simplest thing you have to like make that you made in your journey or in the last month, just see the
through it.
pages and that's done.
It
Don't
was-
do
Yes, the
so much
formula
more.
book that I told, the last moment, just go through that in that morning.
For that
Don't
morning,
keep anything else for that morning.
for
But
the
it was a bit different for me. In fact, I was even studying when I was entering the car. It was a bit
revising.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I was
revising.
revising.
With,
In fact, I slept for 4 hours, not for like a stretch of 6 hours. But it depends on you. I'll say, yeah, you listen to everyone, but it depends on you, because I have also heard my seniors advise to sleep for a long stretch and not to study at night, just a day before exam. But since I had to revise my syllabus a day before exam, और उसी से मेरे को शांति मिलता है कि हाँ मैंने रिवीजन कर लिया है सारा, तो उसके लिए मेरे को जितना भी टाइम लग रहा था, I was giving that time
Right.
and not worrying that oh it's just one day before exam I have to sleep.
So competitive exam, end of the day, is your own choice, your own decision.
Yes.
তুমি যেটা করবে সেটাই ভালো।
Yes.
whichever
know the best
suits
for
you,
Yes.
just go for that.
Listen to
No
everyone,
prototypes.
but
That
do
is
yours.
That
Yeah.
is a one single, just one or two words from each one of you, starting with Dr. Bhattacharya, a single line of inspiration for our NEET aspirants.
Yes. As he had already said Parthiv Narayan, I fully agree with him that you have to sleep for about 6 hours. Do not be worried about what would you do it in the next morning, etc., etc. No, nothing sort of that. And I disagree with my dear student, this Nidhi also, that do not go for that revision. I have seen her doing the same thing in MBBS. I'm sorry to say. So that is I don't recommend that. And the thing is that don't lose your heart. You know that you must be you must be having certain thoughts that you must crack by any means, and it would be yours after all. And so let your moods always be elevated by yourself or by your parents or by your teachers.
Thank you so much, sir.
এক্সামের সময় সিরিয়াস হওয়া পড়া নিয়ে, কিন্তু টেনশন নেওয়াটা উচিত হবে না।
Yasha?
I'd like to say that NEET is not the end of the world. You get it, very good. You get a stetho, you get a white coat, you get the name doctor by time. But if you don't get it, there is a beautiful world outside and many more things, much exciting, much interesting to do. Go for it. Don't stress.
Right. Nidhi?
In NEET, maintain hard work and smart work. Don't just study, do smart study. Thank you.
Parthiv?
And after every dark night, the sun rises with its bright colors. So don't stress now. I know this moment is really panicking situation the last 1 month. Just go for it and be courageous.
A big thank you to you all for sharing your valuable insights and strategies with our dear aspirants. We are confident our students are walking away with this session feeling more prepared and motivated for your upcoming NEET exam. So stay tuned for more such episodes under the flagship of Amra Korbo Joy, brought to you by Techno India University. Thank you and have a good